Hey everyone, it's John here from MCKAY, back with another video. This video is going to be on Jonathan Toews, and the Hawks might be really busy this offseason. Could they make some big splashes, big deals? I think ideally for what they're looking at and what they've obviously seen with their core in the Cups, they want to see Toews and Kane retire with the Hawks. But at the same time, you did see Duncan Keith go, and you saw him dealt to the Oilers, so you never know. And I think Elliot Friedman and Merrick talked about it. They kind of threw out the idea, and I'll just jump on this, is potential destinations if Toews was to get dealt. And the team that Merrick and Friedman kind of tossed around was the Boston Bruins. Hypothetically, if Bergeron was to be done, or even if Bergeron wasn't to be done, you still have that hole from missing Krejci. And I think Toews, yes, it's a big contract when you're talking about $10.5 million. It's a tough deal to make, but you have to send, obviously, contracts back the other way. I think the Bruins could make it work, but I think in any sense it would have to be Bergeron, would have to be done for them to kind of take a risk like this. And maybe a DeBrusk is going back the other way, or some other pieces, and maybe there's some incentive for a team to take on this Toews contract with Chicago getting other assets. But I wanted to throw out some other teams. So 5 teams total of where Jonathan Toews could get dealt if he does this offseason. Next up, the Calgary Flames. Just in terms of Sean Monahan could get dealt, and I feel like a team like Chicago maybe could be a good change of scenery for him. But I do think Calgary, in terms of matchup game, in terms of what Daryl Sutter likes, I mean, if Calgary wants to keep going on runs the next few years, a guy like Johnny Toews in the playoffs wouldn't be bad. And having that center depth of Lindholm, Backlund, and Toews would be pretty solid. Obviously, again, contracts would have to go back the other way. So is it Monahan? Is it Lucic going back the other way? You'd have to match up contracts. Winnipeg Jets. This would send Johnny Toews home. Could it be a big blockbuster deal where Mark Scheifele goes back the other way? I think we could see a monster deal with the Winnipeg Jets this year, maybe with a different team. Who knows if Scheifele will get dealt, but Johnny Toews going home could be a good fit. The Vancouver Canucks. I think this is probably less likely, but in terms of a couple bad contracts they have in Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Tyler Myers, maybe Chicago could take on one of them and make this deal possible. And then maybe they're more enticed to trade a JT Miller with the extra depth up the middle with Jonathan Toews. I mean, imagine the depth with Bo Horvat and Pettersson you already got, and you throw in Toews in there. That's pretty deep. That's pretty solid. And then the Pittsburgh Penguins. Hot take here, but if there's a scenario where Malkin doesn't stay, I think he stays, but you could also send some of the defense contracts back the other way to make it make sense in terms of like a Pettersson or Matheson. Matheson played well in the playoffs, but I think this one's a huge hot take. But, you know, Toews and Crosby have played together in the Olympics. I think it would be pretty cool to see Johnny Toews in a Penguins jersey, but again, more of a hot take. I think when you're talking about more, I would say, realistic, Boston could be realistic. I think Winnipeg could be realistic. And I think the hot take, I think Calgary, in terms of a couple contracts back the other way, in terms of Monahan, maybe going on a deal, but we'll see what his health is looking like, his injury status. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think with Jonathan Toews, I would say more likely stays just in terms of retiring as a Hawk, but you never know. I think we've seen crazy stuff happen. And I think in terms of Duncan Keith, he wanted to go closer to home, closer to his kid. I think you could see a scenario where maybe Jonathan Toews wants to go closer to home. Maybe Toews becoming a Winnipeg Jet. We'll see. But hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you on the next video or stream. Peace.